What is up, guys? It's James from CopLogic. Welcome back to the channel, and some pretty big news today in the world of Liverpool Football Club. And as I'm sure you probably know by now, that is that Xabi Alonso has made his decision and official announcement that he will be staying at Bayer Leverkusen for at least another season, with a, interestingly, release clause to be attached to that, which activates in 2025, which we'll get into in a second. But I think obviously the big question is now, what happens for Liverpool? Where do we go moving on from here? Because as we all know, I think he was the fan favourite, and we had been informed that he was the club's favourite at the time. It seems like that's changed almost overnight in terms of him letting the club know, and also letting Bayern Munich know, who were also informed that he will be staying at Bayer Leverkusen. So we're going to get into what happens next for Liverpool, who the next target is, and there is one outlier and front runner in that race. But obviously this story broke last night via Paul Joyce with his article in the Times, and I've always rated him as a journalist, especially when it comes to Liverpool stuff. Most of the stuff he says comes to fruition, and he did say that Jabbi Alonzo is set to stay at Bayer Leverkusen next season, despite interest from Liverpool and Bayern Munich. And as you know, we had the official announcement of that today from Jabbi Alonzo himself and Fabrizio Romano, saying that Jabbi Alonso's decision has been made. He will stay at Bayer Leverkusen. Liverpool left the race yesterday after clear indication, Bayern doing the same today as they've been informed. Jabbi Alonso will continue at Bayer for one more year at least, as in 2025 there will be a release clause. Liverpool, Bayern and Real Madrid will keep following the development of Jabbi Alonso in the future. Now, in terms of that release clause, I don't really think it will mean anything to us, if I'm being honest. Liverpool aren't going to sign a stopgap manager. You know, the only way that we come in and activate that release clause is if things go terribly wrong for us next season with whoever does come in, and, you know, fingers crossed that's not the case, because we obviously don't want that to happen. So I think this is it in terms of Liverpool's interest in Jabbi Alonso. I think there's absolutely no chance now, if I'm being honest. I think that is it for him. I mean, maybe like 10 years down the line, who knows where he is and what's going on there. But like, as of right now, you know, it's not going to happen in the near future, in my opinion. Whoever Liverpool sign next, it will be with an eye on longevity. So I think it's interesting that Real Madrid are now being dropped into this, and I think, honestly, that's where he ends up. They will activate that release clause, in my opinion. Bayern Munich, maybe, but I don't really understand what's keeping him at Germany. Personally, like, I'm really shocked at the decision from Jabbi Alonso to stay. You know, he's probably going to win the league this season at Bayer Leverkusen, and then at that point, like, you've completed the Bundesliga. So I don't really know what's in it for him. To go to Bayern Munich, to a better team when you've already won it with a worse team, doesn't really make sense to me. Like, it just feels like he's completed the Bundesliga. He's not German, so I don't see it as like a loyalty thing. I just don't really understand, especially when, you know, Liverpool are one of the clubs that we're in for here. To snub Liverpool, I'm just shocked, to be honest, with the decision. But, you know, I don't think it's all doom and gloom. I think, and I trust Liverpool to continue to make the right decision, whatever that's going to be with whoever comes in next. FSG have already showed that ambition, bringing Michael Edwards back to the club, and I expect that level of ambition to continue going forwards now in regards to whoever comes in as next manager. You know, we've already got Michael Edwards in. We know about the structure that he likes at the club already, so whoever they go for, I think we can be sure that they will have done their research and it will be the best possible fit for Liverpool Football Club at the time. And we do have some fairly concrete information on who that is probably going to be. And this is coming from Ian Doyle, again, massively trustworthy journalist, especially when it comes to Liverpool news. And he has said this morning that Ruben Amorim is now the favourite target for a Liverpool job. And Liverpool know they cannot afford to waste time should they decide Amorim is their man. I actually read a report yesterday stating that, I think it was from Fabrizio Romano, saying that Liverpool want to get the next manager secured before the end of the season, which obviously would put us in the best possible position for the summer transfer window. So I think it's massively important that we do that, and it looks like at the moment Ruben Amorim is the front runner in that race. Interesting, Chris Bascom put a report out yesterday saying, as Liverpool consider alternatives to Jabbi Alonso, the only guarantee is that Klopp's replacement will be obliged to play in the same attacking manner which has brought every major honour to Anfield since 2019. I mean, it's interesting that they don't want to move away from that Klopp structure, but I think, again, it does show the ambition. It does show that what FSG want to do is to continue to operate at the highest level of football possible. And although that might limit their options in terms of which manager comes in, I think for the players that are already at the club, it's a little bit of security for them in terms of they know they're currently playing in a system that works, a system that fits them, and that system isn't isn't looking to change anytime soon, at least not drastically anyway. Paul Joyce, just speaking on Ruben Amorim, has also mentioned that he has a release clause of 17 million. So again, it's an affordable option for Liverpool, but I don't think this is a bargain bin thing for them. Obviously, you know, I think they will be looking long term, despite that 2025 release clause for Jabbi Alonzo. I think the Jabbi Alonzo thing's done now. It's just not going to happen. I can see him ended up at Real Madrid personally. Ruben Amorim, he looks like he is the front runner, and you know, it will be for a reason. If you don't know already, he currently manages Sporting CP, or Sporting Lisbon as you might know them, in the Portuguese league, and their current record stands at 25 games played, 21 wins, 2 draws and 2 losses. They are currently top of the Portuguese league, so you know, that's a positive sign in itself, but it is the Portuguese league. This is a little bit of a gamble, but I think whoever came in after Jurgen Klopp, it would be a gamble. He's not the only name on the list. Roberto De Zerbi's getting thrown around a lot, but for me, I don't want that. I can't see it working. I don't really think he's at the level, to be honest. You know, you look at some of the huge defeats he's had with Brighton, I just don't think he's ready for a job like Liverpool. And also, he recently said in regards to Brighton, in the Europa League loss, that it's not all about the trophies for him, it's about having a good time, and I just don't think that will go over well with Liverpool fans, certainly not me, because it is all about trophies. We want to win trophies, especially at a club as big as Liverpool Football Club. It's okay playing good football, but it's got to mean something as well, and in a league as competitive as the Premier League, that means we need a manager with that mindset. I just don't think it's Roberto De Zerbi, so it looks like Ruben Amorim is the front runner. He currently plays in a 5-2-3 system, so it's not like Klopp, you know, it's not the same system as Klopp, but it is very progressive attacking football. It's 5-2-3 on paper, but it's not really a back five. He plays with 2 wing backs that are very progressive. They press a lot and they get involved in the attack, and I think, you know, that's very similar to how we see our full backs working in Andrew Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold. So, you know, he could potentially adapt to Klopp's system, or he could adapt our team to his system, and it would still be a very strong and attacking, forward-thinking team. It's interesting because although it's 5-2-3 on paper, it's more like a 3-4-2-1 in terms of a back 3 with the wing backs joining the midfield in that sort of 4, and then the 3 at the front, it's more like a 2 and then 1 in front, which I think works, or would work very well for Darwin Núñez being that 1, and then you can take 2 wingers and sort of have them a little bit tighter. Your wide players bring them in tighter. Now, for me, that's a perfect system for Diogo Jota, who we know can play as a middleman. So if he could play as a sort of shadow striker to Darwin Núñez, I think that would work very well. I don't think it would work well for Cody Gakpo. He definitely struggles in the middle. We're seeing that more and more in recent weeks. He's probably better as a wide player, not really getting the time at the moment because Luis Diaz is our main man on that left wing. But if we were to adopt this sort of 3-4-2-1 system, I don't think it suits Cody Gakpo, but you never know, and I really want Cody Gakpo to turn things around and find his form again. So I'm not trying to get on that Cody Gakpo hate wagon, but I just don't think that would be a system that would work for him. But again, there's no saying that he's just going to come in and put his sporting identity onto Liverpool. He could adopt Klopp's system, and that might be something that Michael Edwards and FSG want to do, and we'll discuss with whoever it is and whatever managers they have discussions with. It's going to be a busy summer, that's for sure. Well, it's going to be a busy next few weeks because by all accounts, it looks like Liverpool want this next manager to be done and dusted, know who it's going to be before the season ends, so that we can have the summer that not only the manager wants, but also Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes and FSG want. So there's a lot to come, and that includes players as well, you know, the likes of Virgil van Dijk, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Mohamed Salah, with their contract renewals coming up. They're going to want to know what the future is going to look like for Liverpool, so they need to know who the manager is going to be. They probably need to have some sort of a talk with that manager in regards to what their role is going to be going forwards, what the ambitions of the manager is and the club, where we're going from here. And I think that's going to be hugely important. Can I see some players leaving? Unfortunately, probably. I'd like to think not, but you know, you can't be sure. The amount of offers Mo Salah is going to get this summer, you cannot be sure. So yeah, big summer coming up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already to stay up to date with all of that stuff. And let me know in the comments right now what you think about Ruben Amorim. Is he the man for the job? And if he's not the man for the job, then let me know who you think is. Because for me personally, I definitely don't think it's Roberto De Zerbi. So I'm all in on Ruben Amorim. Let's see what happens with that. You know, his record at Sporting's great. We don't know that much about him though, if I'm being honest. And it is going to be a gamble, but I think anyone's going to be a gamble. What I do know from Roberto De Zerbi and having seen him perform in the Premier League now for quite a while, I just don't think he's up to it yet. And I'm not saying he never will be, but I don't think it is the time for him to be taking a step up to a club as big as Liverpool, who are fighting for Premier League titles at the moment. So he just doesn't have the mentality or the mindset for me. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. And as always, guys, if you have enjoyed the video, make sure you give us a like. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And as always, we will see you guys in the next video. Peace.